इतना सा फसाना
I knew that they all often told me that being an artist puts you in a position where you can have a voice for a reason and you can contribute towards society, not just, because you like to act, but because you can touch people's hearts in many, many ways. And I think that's what I've always strived to do.
जर्द जर्द पत्तों को टहनियों पे रहने दो, लौटती बहारों की यही तो निशानी है, इतना सा फसाना है, इतनी सी कहानी है, पानी का बुलबुला है, ये जो जिंदगानी.
That was Seema KUKREJA, today's star guest on Ticket to the Stars Presents. And if you're able to stick around to the very end of the program after the bye-byes and the farewells, you'll hear that treat again in full, find out where it comes from, and also hear a delightful interpretation and translation of the song by Seema's dear husband, Aditya.
You're listening to Ticket to the Stars Presents, where you don't have to reach for the stars, we bring the stars to you.
This is Ticket to the Stars Presents, where you don't have to reach for the stars. We bring the stars to you, from rising stars to superstars, stars around and in between, making their mark on the entertainment scene here in the Triangle and beyond. Whether out front or behind the scenes, these stars know how to shine. I'm your host, Gloria, and today, Ticket to the Stars presents superstar Seema KUKREJA. Thank you so much, Seema, for being here. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Everyone from this area, I'm sure you know Seema. And let me just describe what she's wearing. She's got this beautiful black velvety top on, this black scarf. But what's really glowing are these fingers. She's got her nails done, all this beautiful jewelry. It's got rings in unique places connected by chains. If you've looked at her online, you know she's very fashionable. Let me read her bio here. Seema KUKREJA is a trained actor, dancer, singer, playwright, and director. Her credits include Almost Maine, which was done with Sweet Bee Theater, Secret Garden at JTP, as well as Black Nativity, The Tar Heel Tales with the Cary Playwright Forum, The Women, that was a good show. I've read about that one with the Carytown Players. Bald Soprano, which was a staged reading at Emerge. Great spot in downtown Raleigh, am I right?
Yes, a hot spot.
Hot spot. Chakra with the Cary Arts Center. And The Jacket, which was performed at Sonorous Road, produced by the Women's Theater Festival. She's a regular at local radio shows. She was also recently selected as a voice talent for UNC TV. You know I'm going to want to hear about that, Seema.
Sure.
Seema holds 2 master's degrees in healthcare and business. So look, listen, very intellectual as well, artistic and intellectual. These 2 degrees she has from Georgia State University. And she's been blessed with a very supportive husband and a 6-year-old daughter, Aadya, who is an artist in the making. And I'm delighted to say that both of them are here at the radio station. We'll be hearing a little bit from them. Seema also wants to thank all of her family in India and the U.S. who have been her backbone in all that she has achieved. She is honored, she says, and excited to be the star guest on Ticket to the Stars Presents on Little Raleigh Radio. Ticket to the Stars Presents Seema. How are you?
Oh my God, that was some introduction.
Don't you feel like the superstar you are now?
I am
come on.
flying.
You gotta do it right.
My feet are not even on ground.
I'm
trying my best.
Yeah, they were really delighted when they walked in here, as we do for all of our guests. We have her name in lights and her husband and her daughter's names in light and a marquee here. And superstars, their names are in lights because they're stars themselves. So the name has to go with it. I want to open up, Seema, with the fact that we know you are extremely prolific. What I read in your bio here about your theater involvement here really is just the tip of the iceberg. Because I know by looking at your resume, your shows go, I mean, they go way back, first of all, but in the Raleigh area in particular, the Triangle, you've done shows all over.
Yes.
All over.
Yes, across the countries.
Oh, across the country even. But I tell you what I think is really fascinating is that your story, as it relates to the theater, being an actor or an actress, what do you like to go by? Actor or actress?
Actor.
Actor.
Yeah.
Being an actor, your story about being an actor really began in the early 1990s with an acting troupe called, and tell me if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Safdar Hashmi Street Acting Troupe.
Safdar Hashmi Street Theatre, yes.
Safdar Hashmi Street Theatre.
Yes. So I was part of the troupe for the theatre that was very popular back then in 90s in India, and it used to be a big thing, and I never knew I could make it to the top, not exactly to the top, but actually just to be the part of this this amazing group.
So the group was a big thing, or theater itself?
The theater and the group, primarily for a reason because the street theater does not come with predefined scripts on hand. It's more similar to the kind of improv that we do here, and it's all extempore. And
it's all like what?
All extempore. Like you're making things.
You're making
you're developing you're impromptu. You're developing the concept right then and there in front of the audiences.
Yeah.
And what really moved me towards that troupe in particular was the goal for the troupe, which was to promote awareness about societal issues like negative impact of alcoholism, drug abuse, and things like that, and dowry deaths. So I'd been very actively
involved.
Kind of
deaths?
Dowry deaths.
Oh, dowry deaths.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Yes.
That was an issue that would come up even in theater.
Yes. I mean, in fact, I did a show here with Mojoa Performing Arts back in 2015, I suppose. Yeah. It was called In the Boots of Timberland, where I actually played the victim of domestic violence, who was doused with the kerosene, and she died, and I played the spirit in the play. And
you played the spirit?
I played a person who's actually traveling between life and death. So it was not a comatose. It was more of a spiritual realm that I was, performing
that was interesting.
My part in. It was very fascinating to play that role. So yeah, going back to Safdar Hashmi days, that's how I kind of got involved with the theater. And it was a big thing for me, primarily because it was for a very societal reason. I felt like, I was giving my bit back to the society in a way.
Right.
There was a lot of, like a dimension of the human aspect.
Human aspect of it.
Of it was addressed.
In fact, there's an online magazine called Scroll.in, the website Scroll In. You're familiar, and there's an article written by an actor.
I heard about that.
Did you? Yeah. And so my understanding is that Safdar Hashmi, tell me this, did I pronounce it all right?
Yes.
That he was martyred, in fact.
Yes,
so it just goes to show how important your work was.
Exactly.
In the early 90s with this group.
With all the political activism going on.
Activism, that's the word, yeah.
Yes.
So do you still use theater, it sounds, for activism in this area, in the Triangle?
I try my best, depending on what scripts come my way. And I've been very fortunate to be part of In the Boots of Timberland, and trying to think that was the one that was closest to one of the societal themes. And some of the other plays that I've done, like a play which is very, very close to my heart called Chakra, that was produced by Cary Playwrights Forum. The play dealt with the dilemmas of human life, where I played the part of an empress who's married to 5 husbands.
Oh my!
But all her children, all her children and grandchildren were killed in the war. Yeah. And she is at a stage in the play, she's at a stage where she's trying to, overcome all her grief, and she wants to forgive, her sinners, not for anybody else, but for her own peace. So the play deals with the chakra of life. Chakra means the cycle of life, of death.
Cycle of life.
She forgives for her own healing and for her own self-realization.
Yeah. Well, and I think what you're talking about too is also really in line with the Women's Theater Festival, which was founded by Ashley Popio, who was who was the first guest on Ticket to the Stars Presents. You've done a lot of work with the Women's Theater Festival.
Yes.
Last year you did some comedy.
Yes.
I think it was for the Women's
that
Theater
was
Festival.
Wonderful.
I think the Women's Theater Festival definitely also wants to make an impact on a societal level as it relates to representation.
It's opened up a whole new dimension, a whole new opportunity, opened up the doors of of opportunity to many female actors, producers,
area.
playwrights who never, I wouldn't say who never, but who rarely had
Experience before.
Experience before, exactly.
Yeah. And talking about experience, Seema, listen, you appear in this radio station, but you look very natural. And let's tell the listeners and the fans why you've done radio all over the place. In fact, for
All India Radio,
you've written and recorded several short plays, stories, sci-fi programs, music shows, sports
for
shows.
Triangle Radio.
For TRRS, right?
Yes.
WHUP 104.7 FM, WCOM 103.5. And then you've also done All India Radio in India.
Yes, back in 90s, again, when I was, trying my hands on theater, and I wanted to, get behind the microphone, and, it just fascinated me. Just, not that I just wanted to be a radio jockey, but I wanted to be there for a reason, I always believed, I think it comes from my parents. My father was an Urdu poet.
An Urdu poet?
He wrote poetry actually in Urdu, Punjabi, Hindi, English. And my dad comes from pre-partition days from Pakistan, so he was stationed there.
And he was poetic.
Yeah, he was poetic. I mean, he's with God now, and so is my mom. But I think I was brought up in such a household that kind of inspired so much artistry.
Yeah.
And from then on, I knew that they all often told me that being an artist puts you in a position where you can have a voice for a reason, and you can contribute towards society, not just because you like to act, but because you can touch people's hearts in many, many ways. And I think that's what I've always strived to do.
Yeah, so they really created a garden and a foundation for your love for the arts.
Yes.
Oh, where you could grow and blossom.
Yes. And All India Radio kind of played an important role in shaping of my career as a radio jockey. So the two shows that I started with were called Play It Cool.
Play It Cool.
Oh,
Play It Cool.
Play It Cool. And the other show was called In the Groove.
In the Groove. Was that music?
Music. They were both music-based shows where I would listen to the requests from the listeners and play their favorite songs.
Oh, my gosh.
They would go along with all themes and occasions and festivities and whatnot.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to put a plug in right here. I think the fans know what they're wanting. I think I'm going to put it out there. I think Seema needs to have her own radio show on Little Raleigh Radio. I think I'm gonna put it out there to the universe. I could see it. How exciting too that you would be able to even write for these radio shows. You'd write sports shows and sci-fi programs. Were you writing for the programs, or that was more, I guess, organizing?
Some of the sci-fi stories that I did for TRRS were given to me beforehand, but some of the stories that I shared, like Halloween stories, Christmas stories, I was just called there by Kurt Benrud, and he offered me if I wanted to, contribute my own personal stories, coming from my own experiences, and I kind of dedicated it to my parents.
To your parents.
Yes.
You're listening to Ticket to the Stars Presents, where you don't have to reach for the stars. We bring the stars to you, Tuesdays at 3 on littleraleigh.org, a Stargaze Broadcast. Now back to TTTSP with this week's exciting star guest.
Well, your parents, and I know I should say just your family in general, I know have been very supportive of you.
Yes.
And one glance at your Facebook page, and you can see you've got so many. You posted, "I'm going to be on Little Raleigh Radio," and all these comments came flooding in.
And compliments,
you have a lot of family in India still, and in the U.S.
Yes.
Where are they in the U.S.?
Mostly in West Coast, California.
California.
Yes.
Does it happen to be Hollywood area?
No.
We're going to find a way to get you there.
They're in the San Jose area.
Nice.
My brother, my sister-in-laws, and my nephews.
Yeah.
And my niece.
And your niece. Shout out to the niece.
Hey, Avishi.
And how about your family in India? Are they spread about?
So I don't have much family left with my parents. My parents and my in-laws have already made their journey to the God's land.
Yes.
But I have my middle brother and his wife and my nephew Arnav, who's just started his engineering college.
Oh, nice.
And he's actually doing the pharmacy.
Yeah.
And he's just, growing up. And, I still remember him as my
Is your little
my 2-year-old that I left when I came to US. But yeah, they're a very special part of my family. They're a very special part of my heart.
Of your heart.
Yes.
Well, tell me about this. I know one of the things that I think is fascinating is that you post a lot of pictures on your Facebook page. That's where people can really get a glimpse into who you are as an artist based on the things you say and the things you post. Two things I want to discuss here. Number one, oh my gosh, you wear these beautiful outfits. I believe the correct word is saris, right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Which by definition is a beautiful Indian garb. Is it particularly for performing, or is it what you could wear just out and about?
I actually like to wear saris whenever I can. I've lot of saris given and gifted to me by my mom and my mother-in-law, my sister-in-laws.
Yes.
And some of them were gifted to me by my husband and my brother. So everybody, has given me so many saris. So I've got this huge collection that I don't want to go waste.
Right. So you go through them.
So I've tried to find a reason, to wear a sari. And sari in my mind, is just a symbol of dignity and grace and power, just folded in that one single piece.
Right.
That's wrapping,
Are they often given as gifts?
Sometimes we buy them, but saris, mostly gifted to you by your parents, by family, the senior members of the family.
Yeah. So you're working through your wardrobe. You're not going to let dust collect on the saris.
Yeah.
Now, do you wear them sometimes in performances?
Yes, I've been lucky to have worn the sari in some of my shows. The two shows that stay on top of my head right now are Vagina Monologues.
Oh, yes.
And Chakra, especially because it required me to play a role of an empress, who was supposed to wear like a traditional outfit. And so that was like a Bharatanatyam outfit that I had to wear.
So the director was lucky
to give it a royal look.
Yeah, to have the right look.
Yeah, and the director Aadya, they're very supportive of of my look, of my wardrobe, and they wanted to have that wardrobe in so to justify the authenticity of the character.
Yeah. So you have felt more so that you have been supported in this community.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
yes.
because one of the things that I know, the producer of the show, Danielle Long, she happens to be a Black female and recently learned that Black women of color in the radio or podcast world is very rare. I think the term they call is marginalized. And you as a beautiful Indian woman, how much more rare could that be, on the radio here in the Triangle area?
Yes.
That's why we're saying, Little Raleigh Radio, Seema's here, we'll put it out there again. But I wanted to know, how do you use your uniqueness as an Indian woman in the theater, in the Triangle, as a point of empowerment, or has it been more so something which you've already kind of expressed? It hasn't been anything that creates struggle as much as it's been something you can step on. It's a thing of power.
So giving my bit to the society, I truly believe that life's not a race. It's a journey of exploration. It's about finding yourself. Like, why are we here? And I think artists are given, and as I said before, early on in the interview, that we are given that powerful medium to vocalize for people who are not given, who are not blessed with as many opportunities like us. So why not to speak for minorities? Why not to speak for issues that people usually try to sweep under the carpets? So as an artist, I think we are in a very privileged zone.
Yeah.
To help the other artists, to help the unspoken voices, and bring them up together and uplift each other. And that's what I strive to do. And as my mom used to say, that you're in a very privileged zone, and if you don't give your bit back to the society, your artistry is of no use. It's empty talent.
She said, if you don't give what back?
Your bit back to the society.
Oh, your bed back?
Your bit.
Oh, your bit
back to the society. Then what use is your talent that that doesn't come with a purpose? I'm not saying that I like to do comedy. I do stand-up comedy.
You sure do. I saw you last year.
Your friend Daniel. Yeah, you've seen my show too.
Right.
So I love making people laugh, but what I love doing most with my artistry is touching people's lives. And if I've been in shows where some of the audience members come to me towards the end of the show and they tell me, oh, this is when you did this, I remembered my mother-in-law, or I remembered my mom, or it's something, you know, that brought back to my life that, you know, I'll probably, you know, need to work upon. So that's, I think, you know, that's my victory.
Yeah.
That's my biggest applause. So yeah.
That's your biggest applause.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So in light of that, I suppose you've been able, so that's been your experience here in the Triangle. You using your platform in theater to speak to, and I think what you were saying there, are you referring to other people who may be Indian, who may have felt marginalized, or just artists in general?
Artists in general. I mean, I have American friends. I have African American friends. I have friends from Iran. I have friends from Pakistan. I have, like, you know, when you come to my house and parties, you will see like everybody from everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to do. I mean, I want to know more about different cultures, about different traditions.
Yeah, you're very diverse.
And
let me clarify, because
yes.
certainly I recognize that about you. I guess what I was trying to get at was, it's not every day we see someone who's Indian on these stages in the Triangle.
Yeah. Yes.
And so I just wanted to know if, in fact, what that experience has been like. I think in particular, Raleigh has been noted as one of the best places to live forever. And I think it's perhaps because it's also a melting pot of sorts. And
Yes.
you've been embraced in this community.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I feel very blessed when I moved here in 2008 after completing my master's in Atlanta. I did not know there is the plethora of opportunity that lies within the theater.
Right.
And not just theater, in a form of arts. Like, it's NC in general is particularly so rich in, you know,
Yeah.
in artistic culture.
It's true.
And it's just so diverse, and it is so amazing, you know, that how it kind of, like, you know, opened the doors for me. And a very beautiful experience that I would like to share here is that I've often, you know, addressed in my previous interviews as well. When I was exploring the theater opportunities in 2011, I think in North Carolina, I did some shows at college level in Atlanta too. But when I moved here in 2008, I was busy with my job and, you know, buying a new home and raising family. And then in 2011, I lost my mom. And I was trying to, you know, find different avenues to keep myself busy, not to distract myself from the grief, but just to, you know, keep myself occupied. And, you know, and it was such a blessing that I happened to come across the JTP's audition call for Secret Garden.
Yeah.
And it was such a surreal experience for me, because I ended up playing a spirit in the play who acts as a catalyst, who acts as a, you know, resource of strength to this small girl, to the little girl in Secret Garden, who has lost both her parents in the Indian British Indian colonial setting. And I'm like, oh my God, here I am dealing with my grief,
the same thing.
and I'm getting a role to play. So I'm very, very thankful for that opportunity that came my way. And I think it was my mom's blessing. She knew that, you know, I was craving to go back to theater. I was missing my theater and arts from India, and she sent that opportunity my way. And every show I did there, I remember I came out with happy tears. It was such a beautiful experience.
Well, you bring light wherever you go too, and I think that's partially what's going on here. Doors open to you. I know you have a certain motto, a mantra that you go by. It's something about being happy. Tell me.
Yes. I mean, I like to be unconditionally happy.
Unconditionally happy.
And you know, it's a blessing again, you know, to have taken birth in a family that was so open to other cultures. There was inclusivity, you know, in my household, you know, towards different traditions, to different cultures. And early on in my life, my mom read Quran, my mom read Gita, the holy scripture for Hindus. She read Bible to me.
Okay.
So and you know, talking about faith in general, it opened my mind, like, you know, early on.
Right.
It kind of like told me that all faiths lead to one path.
Yeah.
The path of love.
Right.
And I think that's what we need right now. The
love.
world, there's so much violence and aggression around us that we witness. And what we need is, you know, and they're all basically arising because of lack of knowledge, because lack of acceptance to other cultures, to other ethnicities.
Yeah.
And if we can embrace them all, why not? And this country is the most beautiful place. I mean, this country is the land of immigrants.
So we're putting love in the airways, over the airways.
Oh,
well, based off of what you just said about your mother really wanting to incorporate all different I guess, different types of faith and ideas in your
Yes.
home. I know I saw you, if you go on your Facebook page again, that's like
Yes.
my point of
research about
of
Seema.
research for you. I saw that recently at the top of the fall season, you were celebrating Happy Diwali. Am I right? Is that right?
Yes.
And then most
Yes.
recently, your daughter helped you decorate a Christmas tree.
Yes.
So there is that an example of that. So, but tell us about Happy Diwali.
Yes, so Diwali basically is called Festival of Lights that we
Okay.
celebrate to celebrate victory over ignorance, victory over darkness.
Oh, victory over ignorance. or victory
Ignorance.
over
I mean, that's how
darkness.
my husband likes to explain it to my daughter, to our
Okay.
daughter, that this is how we celebrate. You know, why are we celebrating? It's before even pointing out a finger at something bad that's happening outside in the outside world.
Okay.
Try to get the badness outside of your own mind, of your own soul.
Yeah.
So purify your own self, and that's what the true celebration of Diwali in our
Oh,
household
Diwali.
means.
Is that how I pronounce it? Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali. Yes,
Diwali.
yes, that's how we wish each other. And very recently, just I think few days back, my daughter presented with me and my husband a small talk on the Festival of Lights, and it was amazing.
She presented
to
a talk?
Yes, a small presentation on Diwali at the Festival of Lights, and it was amazing to see the reception towards the festival from her teachers, from
Oh,
her
I see.
friends
At school, she
at
did
school.
this.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it was amazing, and her class teachers were so enthusiastic about
Yeah.
about us coming aboard and sharing about this wonderful festival. So in a way, I want to teach my daughter to embrace other traditions from across the world. I want her to know her own roots and how we celebrated back in our days, and that we try to keep up to the tradition.
Keep up to
Yeah.
and going back to the saris, if there are any sari lovers out there who would love to see you performing in your sari, do you have any performances coming up that are Indian focused, or where you might be
there are
wearing your
some
saris?
in the talks. There's some in the talks,
In the
and
talks,
there's
okay.
some scripts that we are also working on. So very
just
soon,
keep-
if I get on
Come on the show
come
again.
the show again, I'll definitely want to divulge more about it, and very soon you will see on my Facebook.
Yeah,
most
follow
likely,
your social media.
as my promo posts. Yeah, but yeah, I would love to. Not because of because I'm an Indian, I want to do just Indian shows, but most of my shows are American shows.
Right, most of your shows are
And,
American.
and yes, but yeah, it's a great opportunity if they want to call me for something, if they have an Indian character in mind that they want me to play. Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah, well, I think
bring
that's
my
really-
insight to it. Yes,
Bring your, I'm sorry,
my own insights
your
and
insight to it.
experiences
Yeah, because the thing is, you're an actress, so you love playing a variety of characters.
Oh, yes.
Right, a
Oh,
variety.
yes.
Let me ask you about a comment you made recently about artists supporting
Yes.
each other,
Yes.
as opposed to looking at each other as competition.
yes, yes.
Is that something you've
I
had to deal
I
with
feel
yourself?
very strongly. I feel very strongly about it. It's amazing, to have been blessed with so many opportunities that came my way, especially on American stage when I came here. Especially bringing in my experiences as an Indian actor who has done theater back in India. And I had to really, work on my craft. I had to revamp my accent, and I'm still working on it. With each and every show, I get better. And it was not an easy shift. It was not an easy transition at all. And not that people opposed me, that, oh, she's coming from a different diversity and she's, has a different face. In fact, it gave me it gave me an appeal, like a
drive.
like a unique appeal.
Oh, yes.
Unique appeal.
That's what we're getting at earlier, the variety.
I have a distinct face, that I have a different face, and so people kind of like embraced me,
Right, right.
And it's sometimes it's such a beautiful feeling that though I believe that stardom is transient, like everything else, it's
True.
it's not going to stay forever. But it's a beautiful feeling, when somebody tells you, "Oh, you're the only Indian face I've seen up here in North Carolina,"
Right.
and that's a privileged statement to hear.
It is.
And I'm honored to be representing my Indian community on American stage.
Thank you for saying that, because I just want to mention here, because I started wondering at some point if earlier on in the interview, if it appeared that I was trying to dwell too much on the fact that you were Indian. But to me, when I look at you, your online presence, to me, what's evident is that you are just as proud. You're very proud of your heritage, your ethnicity, but you also completely embrace where you are here in the Triangle and in the
Yes.
US.
Yes.
And so to me, I could not have you come on the show and not talk about you as an Indian woman, because it's so much a part of who you are. And I think it would be ridiculous to think that it would not have some impact in your journey as an actress here, even if it was simply, as you just suggested, someone saying, oh, I love it, you're the only Indian face I've seen, even if that's just it. And so I wanted to just highlight that my focus on that is because I recognize as a Black woman myself, the producer of the show, being a Black woman, what it's like to be a person of color.
It defines you. It defines you. Yeah.
Can't deny, exactly. So thank you. I hope you gathered that that's what I was trying to do earlier on.
And more than an Indian actor, I want to be known as a good actor. I don't like to micromanage my work. Yeah. But I like to deliberate upon it, on what I'm doing. I like to take time to ruminate, to deliberate about, how exactly will I be contributing as an actor? If the director has gone all its way, to choose me to play a certain character, I want to be totally that character. So I take time, I run lines with, and I'm blessed to have such a supportive husband and my daughter. They run lines with me, and family in India and California. They've seen my shows multiple times to give me their feedback, and I learn from each and every person in my life that I meet on a day-to-day basis. You learn from everybody. So,
is there anyone who inspires you the most? Your favorite Hollywood star?
Oh, yes.
Tell us about your favorite Hollywood star.
Yes, Meryl Streep.
Oh, I know.
Meryl Streep and Julia Roberts. There's so many. But these two just, stay on the top of my head right now.
Stay on the top of your head, yeah. Those are powerhouses.
Yes.
They are very much so.
Yes.
You spoke about your family. I think it'd be a beautiful time to have them contribute to this conversation.
Sure.
What we'll do is we'll speak with them briefly, and then we're going to go out with shooting star questions where your fans can really get a taste of some of those other little details about your life.
You're listening to Ticket to the Stars Presents, where you don't have to reach for the stars. We bring the stars to you, Tuesdays at 3 on littleraleigh.org, a Stargaze Broadcast. Now back to TTTSP with this week's exciting star guest.
It's almost ready to fall.
He looks like a chipmunk.
We've got Seema's family in here now. You can hear the chatter. You can hear the talk and the conversation, the love, the family in the air.
I thought I was going to wear headphones.
You hear that beautiful voice? Aadya, come closer to the mic.
Here, come closer.
I thought I was going to wear headphones.
So, you know what? You can actually try on hers momentarily, but I think you won't. You probably won't hear yourself because it's connected to her mic. Little Raleigh Radio is a 501c3. Anyone out there who wants to donate some more headphones to Little Raleigh Radio, feel free. LittleRaleighRadio.org produces great work. There are lots of producers at this station, and we're sitting here now with Seema, who we are prophesying will be a producer on Little Raleigh Radio. She's now here. We've got in the studio her lovely hubby, her husband.
Hello.
Here we go. I'm going to say Aditya.
That's correct.
100% right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And Aadya. Aadya. Actually, I corrected my D there. It's more like a...
Aadya Kamla Sharma.
Aadya K. Sharma. Yes. So...
That was great.
Thank you. Wasn't it? Seema has made it very clear that you two are the backbone to her success. That you two are so supportive. I know you go to her shows and things of that nature. Aadya, what does it mean to you to have a mother who performs and who loves life so much? Come closer. Come closer.
Makes me feel happy.
Makes you feel happy?
Because she's such a wonderful mother.
She's such a wonderful mother. Mommy, will you bring the mic just a little closer to her? Thank you so much. What makes her such a wonderful mother?
It's because she plays with me.
I bet.
And she just makes me smile.
She has a vivid imagination, I bet. So when you play with Mom, I bet you it's like going to a whole nother world. And did you say she has a pretty smile? Or she makes you smile?
I make him smile.
You make her smile.
Yeah,
right.
I'm a cartoon. I'm a joker. I'm everything for my daughter.
Oh.
And she means a lot to me. Every kid means a lot to their mother. But she runs lines with me before every show. And
I think my mom thinks I'm a special girl to her because she keeps calling her my doll.
My doll.
You call her
My doll. Yeah.
Well, you are darling her doll, and you are absolutely adorable. People can see cute pictures of you, I know, on Seema's Facebook page. She's got a beautiful round face, a pink bow in her hair today. She's got a bracelet that she was telling me about earlier that's part pet and part jewelry. So tell me this, Aadya. Part toy and part jewelry. Aadya, how does your dad support your mom as an artist? Because he's the backbone too, I understand. She makes it very clear that without him, she couldn't do what she does as well.
What did you say?
How does your dad help your mom perform? How does your dad support your mom?
My dad supports my mom by
Does he read lines with her?
Yes.
like helping her also.
Yeah. Dad, did she hit it on the nose?
Well, I think I've been given too much credit. I do a little bit here and there, but not that much. Sometimes I do give my input and feedback, sometimes as a critic. Sometimes I can appreciate what I like in what she's doing.
And he's a great writer. He's recently written for a show that was done in Durham. He doesn't like to boast about his work, so
that's where you come in. You boast for him.
So I'm plugging in. I'm plugging in for him. He is a wonderful, wonderful writer.
What kind of writing?
Mostly spiritual, but he can write pretty much anything from poetry to going to spiritual awakening and
yeah.
So I think he can write it a cursory too.
Write in cursive?
In cursory writing.
Oh, cursory writing.
So like I said, I enjoy kind of being a part of the kind of creative process sometimes. I think I found that I could express myself better through words way back in school and college. And I mostly wrote for myself, really.
Really?
Because I enjoy the process of just putting your thoughts on paper.
Yeah.
And it helps you think better too.
It does, getting those thoughts out.
Yeah, it helps you organize your thoughts when you're expressing something, even to the extent of when you're talking about how do you feel. You have to really stop and think. How do I feel?
How do I feel?
And what does it make you think? What does something make you feel at that point in time? That's a different type of process. And it's in a way, it's kind of creative, and also, you're kind of reflecting back on things.
Mm-hmm. So, do you ever think you'll write a piece, like a one-woman show for Seema? I think
I want him to.
Yes.
I want him to. He's actually acted with me in Black Nativity.
Oh, were you in Black Nativity too?
Yes. He ended up, he actually was driving me to the auditions, and there I found out they were looking for some more male actors, and I'm like, I've got one right here. Driveway. And I actually kind of got him into it, and he did a wonderful job.
So you're spontaneous too.
Well, I'm okay. Let me make it very clear. I'm not an actor. I'm not an actor. I was pulled into it. She said, "Okay,
he will make a wonderful director." I think.
So,
I
did the role of one of the three kings, the wise men.
Yeah. Oh, that's
when
great.
Christ was born. So yeah. But I am not. I'm more into expressing, like I said, the written word. Like she said,
the kind of knowledge and wisdom that he has. I think he will be a wonderful writer. He can do wonders with playwrights, and he can be a wonderful director.
Well,
that's what we aspire.
That's my spokesperson, I guess.
I don't know. And I'll tell you, she's your backbone too. And this is such a wonderful area where because a lot of the theaters,
each other,
you two do complement each other. A lot of the theaters here have second stages or second seasons where they explore new voices. So it's something to certainly consider, where you write a play for one woman show, since you don't want to act in it, but maybe you want to direct and you can write it. I'm going to suggest
that's a wonderful idea there.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye out for that. All the fans of Seema Kukreja and Ticket to the Stars Presents, looking out for that one woman show. Hey, how do you feel about the fact that he says sometimes he offers criticism? Do you take that pretty well when he's suggesting
he speaks to me so eloquently about what I do, how I do, and he's my best critic at the same time.
Yeah.
And if the appreciation doesn't come out of him very easy.
Sure.
I really have to work on my craft to get that kind of appreciation out from him.
Okay.
So he's a very good observer of art, and because I think the depth of knowledge that he carries.
Right, because you're a professor
I
too.
need to be,
He's a professor, rather.
His profession kind of like adds on to it. So I have to really work, go an extra mile, to prove my worth to him. But not that I need to.
You don't have to prove anything.
Not that I need to, but he I won't say he's my fan, but he's my best critic and definitely a biggest supporter.
So he pushes you.
He pushes
me.
Well,
I think the whole purpose of being here is to explore yourself and to maximize your potential. That's why you're here.
He pushes me to explore
and so
my
that's
potential.
all.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's all you're doing.
And that's all I try to kind of do for not just her, for my students, for myself,
right,
for everybody else I see around. This is I don't know. I always believe in this, that this life is not a race. It's a journey of exploration. You're here to find yourself, and explore and shine your light.
I also talked about that.
So there's confirmation right there.
So that's my teacher right there.
Yeah, your teacher right there.
So as long as I see potential that can be harnessed, I do give my feedback. But I believe everybody's got that light that they can shine.
I agree.
Some are more lucky that they know what it is.
What it is.
What is their gift. And use that gift for yourself, explore yourself, and in the same process, contribute to the society if you can. Touch people.
And both Aadya and Aditya.
And Aadya likes to sing and dance.
Do you want to sing a little number here before we go to our shooting star questions?
You want to sing a line?
Oh, let's see. What could you sing? Do you happen to sing? Do you happen to know? Well, let's see. What song did you have in mind?
Frozen.
Oh, something from Frozen?
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I want to do the first part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Na 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 na. Snow glows white on the mountain tonight. Not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like a swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it on, heaven knows I tried.
And the crowd goes wild. Do you hear that? Aadya! Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. You put tears in my eyes. I'm so delighted that you shared your voice with us. And I like the fact that your dad used the analogy earlier of shining your light because, of course, here on Ticket to the Stars Presents, that's the goal. We have stars whose lights we want to shine. We want to shine, or we want to help the stars shine their lights and bring them closer to their fans. And I want to thank you, Aadya and Aditya. I'm going to mess it up now. Aditya.
Thank you again.
There we go. Aditya. I just overthought it. Aditya, for being here, right here at the end here. I'm going to go out by highlighting your mother's shooting star answers to the shooting star questions. Although I'm posing these only to your mom or to your wife, the fun banter is okay. So if you have to jump in and say, that's fine. These are shooting star questions, so I kind of shoot them to you kind of fast, and the idea is that you shoot them back kind of fast.
Okay, I'll try my best.
If you must elaborate, go for it.
Okay.
So Seema, your fans want to know, what's your favorite movie or play?
Okay. So many. There are so many.
So many.
Walk in the Clouds is my personal favorite. It's a romantic movie. And talking of Meryl Streep, Silkwood, where she plays the nuclear whistleblower.
Sleepwood?
Silkwood.
Oh, Silkwood. Okay, I'm
Silkwood,
gonna definitely check that one out. How about your favorite word? Let's hear your favorite word, and then I'm gonna see.
I have 100 favorite words.
You can
oh
tell
my
one.
gosh! I bet you can write them all down and mail them into us.
Tell us one.
Cute.
Okay.
I like that. Cute, like that as
too.
you are. Do you have one?
Love, hugs.
Love, hugs. That's good.
Embrace. There's so many. Forgiveness.
Yeah.
I think, that's what we all need as part of the society.
I also
forgiveness.
Yeah. Yes.
I also have this other easy word.
Oh, tell me.
Love.
You just confirmed it for us. Yes. That's one of your favorite words.
Yes.
Love and forgiveness.
Yeah.
How about do you happen to have a book you're reading right now? And let me say, I'm pretty sure you are, because I know you love books based on something you posted on Facebook.
So the book that I'm reading right now is a practical guide on mindfulness.
And
that was my birthday gift from my husband.
From your husband?
And I haven't even finished it yet.
It was what kind of
because
gift? Your birthday gift?
It was my birthday gift, and my birthday is in February, so it's been a while. But I've not yet finished the book.
It takes me a time sometimes to get through.
Yeah, I want to take it very
My
slow.
mom's birthday is on February the 2nd.
Okay,
Ooh,
thank
everybody
you.
know.
Thank you. Now everybody knows.
Now
So
everyone knows
I'll wait for
February
wishes.
So it's on mindfulness.
Mindfulness, yes. And yeah, I mean, when the worldly pressure, deadlines, and the challenges,
Yes.
are too much for me as an artist, then I want to time myself out. And I seek peace within me. And there are days when I'm very successful with it. There are days when I okay, no, I definitely need, to rework.
And I bet there are many who
I
can
have
relate
something
to
to
that.
say.
Yeah, talk to us.
Yes.
And when I grow up, I mostly want to be a scientist. And,
okay.
And
There you
so
go, mindfulness.
I do these little fake scientist thingies, and so for an example, my mom doesn't really know this, but one night I saw these 3 caps. And there was even a rubber band, and the caps were for water bottles, and so yeah, and so I put water in one, soap in one, then a mixture of water and soap.
Oh, so she mixes
then-
things in around the house.
So it's like a science experiment.
Science experiment.
And then
yes.
the one that had soap and water, I put a top with it.
Yeah.
And so
And let things
then
grow within it.
I
Yes.
put the rubber band with it too. And then I put it to the side, and then I.
So that's how we learned that she wants to
some
be a
other
scientist.
stuff.
In addition to other things.
In addition to other things, and you're only how old are you, Aadya?
6.
6 years old. I think the world has just gotten a glimpse of a very precocious child who's great right now and going to be something brilliant when she's an adult.
Fingers crossed.
I'm also gonna be a singer, dancer,
singer,
an actor,
scientist,
a
dancer,
rock
actor.
star,
And a rock star.
doctor.
And a doctor.
So there we go.
Well, it's interesting that you said that because I want to ask your mom now, what's her favorite childhood memory?
There are so many.
Huh?
There's so many.
What does that mean?
Well, when she was a child,
When I was a child,
she
what was my
had many
favorite memory?
of her
And
own
I'm gonna talk
experiences. I want to know what's something she remembers. That was
so
her
many
favorite.
talking to my parents going before the bedtime, listening to their stories. And one thing that really stays on the top of my head is going to the walks to our local park and just spending time with them.
family.
Yes, and also going to the old Delhi streets and snacking on North Indian food. Yeah.
Oh, on what kind of
on
food?
North Indian food.
Oh,
Yeah, the
Did
roti.
you say not?
Coming from North
Indian.
India.
Yeah, roti.
Naan, butter, naan,
yeah.
samosas, and how the list goes on and on.
When was the last time you've been able to go back and visit? Have you?
We visited this year only.
This year.
In summer, yes.
Fantastic. Well, do you have a favorite Netflix or Amazon binge show?
There's so many, but right now I'm watching some old Indian TV serials that have,
okay.
thanks to the internet
Yes.
and the YouTube venture
From the 90s.
From the 90s.
From the 90s.
Yes.
She goes back and looks up.
Just to
looks them
relive
up.
my childhood
Well,
memories.
when we were growing
and
up, I guess those
That was
used to be
beautiful
on
TV. That was beautiful television.
And
Talked about family roots. Talked
Right.
about
Family
values.
Comedy too.
Yes.
What's
nice,
that?
nice comedy shows also.
Comedy?
Yes.
We feel the content is. Maybe
It was
it's
more
okay.
real. Content was more real.
And this was on Netflix or Amazon?
And this is on YouTube that I'm watching
Oh, on
right
YouTube.
now.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
You like to binge on YouTube.
Yes,
See,
yes.
Netflix and Amazon, better watch out, right?
I sometimes watch some series made by
Sure.
Bollywood on Amazon too.
Yeah, but the things that you like are really more available on
The recent
YouTube.
one that I watched on Netflix was Sacred Games,
Okay.
but that was more of current times, the
Yeah.
political and the violence and whatnot. But I'm a movie buff. I'll watch anything. Yeah, but there were some real good actors in that, and that was my driving force to watch
Yeah.
that series. Yeah.
Very nice. Do you have a favorite place? It may be what you described, those memories, childhood memories in Delhi.
Oh, with my mom, dad.
Well, I don't know. I was thinking maybe.
Now it just the place that just came to my mind was Kashmir.
Oh.
The beautiful valleys. It used to be
Yeah.
called the paradise of what paradise of gods?
It's called
in
Paradise on
God's
Earth.
land?
There was a king who
Yeah.
used to say, if there is heaven on earth anywhere, it's here, it's here, it's here.
In Kashmir.
That's what
In
Kashmir
Kashmir.
is called.
And
So it was a very beautiful area.
Is it?
yeah,
it's the
and
north
now
of
the,
India.
the war has like kind of like
but it's
taken
not a
up. But
war,
Kashmir
but
is
it's
still
like,
beautiful.
It's still beautiful.
strife, conflict there.
Okay.
And here, I love going to Orlando, and we are taking our, 6-year-old, my Aadya, to Orlando very soon. And Hawaii.
And Hawaii.
That was my second honeymoon with my husband in Hawaii.
Yeah,
The first
can't
honeymoon
forget
was
that
in
then.
India. But yeah, Hawaii tops it all. It's
it
so
tops
romantic.
it all.
Yeah,
Is it?
just so
I haven't been to Hawaii
romantic.
myself. I don't know what's wrong with
You
me. but
need to go there, Gloria.
Hawaii. Well, tell me this: as going out with a favorite quote, is there something either during high moments of joy or moments of sadness? There's a quote that gets you through the day, or that inspires you, or keeps you.
There are two. The most favorite one, my brother always says, the sky is the limit.
Okay.
Don't be afraid of trying new things, because you're going to come back to the place you started from. And another one's from my dad. But dad used to say, live life king size.
Live life king
King
size.
size and simple living,
I like
high thinking. You do not need a lot of material things like big cars and expensive wardrobe and jewelry to show who you are, but you need your simple, beautiful, humble values.
Yeah.
That keep you grounded.
Yeah. Was that another part of the quote? You said simple living.
Simple living, high thinking.
High thinking.
Yeah.
Was that from your father as
From
well?
my father used to say it. I don't know if
Mahatma
it
Gandhi
was
used to, I think,
Mahatma
say it
Gandhi
too.
used to say it, and then my dad was no less than him, and he lived his life for others, and a
Your
true
dad?
saint. I mean, yes,
True saint.
Yes, so. Those are two of his favorite quotes. Whenever I would, buy expensive gifts for him, and like, no, I don't need it. I'm like, Dad, you write poetry. Why don't you sell the copyrights? This is like pure gem.
This is beautiful.
This is pure gem. I want to
This is
sell
a
it.
gem.
And my dad would like, no, I write it because I derive happiness from reciting it. When
Yeah.
I see smiles on my audience faces, and that's what I derive my true pleasure in. And I think that beats it all. Yeah. And one of the other beautiful quotes that my husband always quotes.
So there's a quote by, which is one of my favorite ones. I have 3 or 4, but one of the ones that I really quote, because people always, when we talk about what do you need in life, mostly it comes down to happiness, right? Joy and happiness.
Yeah.
And so there's a very interesting quote, and then people are searching for it. And I say true happiness is without a reason. So one of the quotes that Marcus Aurelius, who was a king and a philosopher, he said, if you're distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to that thing, but your own estimation of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. So it's what you're given
so
weight
powerful.
is causing you the agony. And if you take away the weight that you associate with things, the agony goes away, because it's how important did you make it for yourself is causing you all the trouble that's causing you. So it's your own estimation of it that's causing you all the distress. If you're thinking it's not external, it's all about being
It's
how
right.
you perceive it.
How you perceive it internally. Well, you say it one more time, because I love it, and all the way through, because you said, and you can revoke that power at any point. Can you say the quote
So
again?
if you're distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to that thing, but your own estimation of it.
And you have the power.
And this you have the power to revoke at any moment.
I love that. And this you have the power to revoke
at any moment. This is beautiful.
Power is there.
And
you have the
and
power
it's
to
all
revoke.
within us.
All within,
all within
you don't
us.
have right.
Yeah.
And
That's
that
what-
pain can be eliminated immediately.
You're your own best friend. Yeah.
That's what that's all about spirituality. That we, like, if you go in within the peace is within you.
I love that she said that.
Okay. So my daughter wants to go home now.
We're going home
So-
now, darling. Listen,
God,
so Aadya.
then I want to go home.
Well, Aadya, what you're telling us is that you actually have very perfect timing. Internal clock is awesome. Your internal clock is on point, because this is the end of the interview. Can you say bye to your fans and to your mom's fans and to the mic?
Bye-bye,
And
everyone.
You wanna say bye to your Pearson Town friends and teachers?
Yeah.
Bye-bye, personal friends and teachers. Thank you so much for watching this.
For listening.
For listening to this wonderful show. And I hope you have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you.
Let's blow them all kisses. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Mwah, mwah.
Thank you, Seema, for being here, for bringing your family.
Thank you, Gloria. Thank you
Aadya.
so
Thank
much.
you, Aditya.
Thank
you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It was
Pleasure being here.
It was so gratifying.
Thank
It was so
you.
gratifying, and it was a blissful experience. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you,
Thank
Seema.
you.
Come give me a hug, Aadya. Thank you, Aadya. She gave me a beautiful card. Thank you. This is Ticket to the Stars Presents, in association with Little Raleigh Radio. Little Raleigh Radio is a 501c3. You can check out Little Raleigh Radio on littleraleigh.radio.org. This is Seema Kukreja singing a song in her native tongue.
These are some beautiful lines that were conceptualized and also composed by my late father, Shri Desraj Kukreja.
इतना सा फसाना है, इतनी सी कहानी है, पानी का बुलबुला है, ये जो जिंदगानी है, इतना सा फसाना है। जर्द जर्द पत्तों को टहनियों पे रहने दो, लौटती बहारों की यही तो निशानी है, इतना सा फसाना है, इतनी सी कहानी है, पानी का बुलबुला है, ये जो जिंदगानी है.
And my husband will translate it for you.
So the meaning specifically is that this life is very short. It's like a bubble of water, bubble of soap that's created. So itna sa fasana hai, itni si kahani means it's a simple story. It's a short message. That pani ka bulbula means it's a bubble of water.
Bubble of water.
Ye jo zindagani hai means this life. This life is like a bubble of water. It'll be going like that.
Right.
And the next line she says is zard zard patton ko tehniyon pe rehne do. Zard means brown, like the color of the fall leaves. Yeah. So he says that let those leaves that are about to dry and fall off remain on the trees. Because those leaves, because those leaves are also a symbol that the spring is going to come back soon. So they're a reminder, even though they are brown leaves, but they're a reminder that the spring is not far behind.
Right.
So it's a message of hope.
Yes, it's just so beautiful. Like it sums it all. Like life is so temporary, but then we still have a lot of time to reflect upon it and to learn from it and to grow with it and to enjoy it to its fullest.
Every moment that we get is a gift.
It's a gift.
Yes.
And that's right in line with, what you said. You want to be happy unconditionally. You choose to be happy. Thank you, happy unconditionally.
Yes. That's what I learned from him and my parents and my brothers. Yeah.
What a gift that you shared that with us. Thank you, Seema. Your voice is gorgeous. And it was really powerful just hearing it float over the airways, no instruments, just your voice alone. And what a gift. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. I'm so blessed to be able to share this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Ticket to the Stars Presents. I'm your host, Gloria. If you've got questions, concerns, compliments, shoot them my way. StargazeStudios at iCloud.com. StargazeStudios at iCloud.com.
Ticket to the Stars Presents. That's TTTSP, Tuesdays at 3 on littleraleigh.radio.org.
A Stargaze Broadcast. A Stargaze Broadcast. A Stargaze Broadcast.